Hello, and this is my presentation on my reflection on culture, ethnicity, and race. What assumptions do we make about people from different races, ethnicities, and culture? There is a popular saying about assuming, and I could not agree with it more. When people assume about different cultures, whether it's good or bad, it is setting an expectation that can hinder both parties. This is how stereotypes are developed and believed. This was clearly shown in the short video titled Lunch Date. The main character in the video was a white older woman who was having interactions with a couple of African American men. She jumped to conclusions such as they wanted to steal from her, and in the end she found out that all of her assumptions were wrong. My school. The program that I work for is not a normal school situation. There are days when I have no children, and then there are days when I have 12. And most of the time I do not have the same children every day. I like this because I get to teach and talk to so many children, so hopefully I can get my message across, the importance to love and be loved by as many people as we can, whether they look the same or they don't. My student population is mostly upper class white European, but I do not steer away from diversity. I have everyone in my class embrace different cultures. The diversity that we lack in our student population is made up in our team. We're able to show them things that we do at home and different lifestyles. My classroom is set up in a way that allows children to learn about different cultures in a respectful manner. There are pictures of children and families all over the world posted throughout the room, and when they have a question, whether it deals with race, gender, age, or abilities, we're there to answer. In each center, I have something dealing with diversity. I have a bunch of toys that show diversity in our community in the block area, in the dramatic area. I have toys and food from around the world and traditional clothes from different places. As I said, many, many, many things to show diversity. As for me, working with many children in my life, it had a great impact. It made me more aware and sensitive to people's situation, even in this program. I know there's plenty of assumptions I hear throughout the day about the children being rich. I hear the word spoil a lot and snotty. These assumptions can really affect the teacher-student bond. In the beginning, it was easy to fall into these thoughts because I personally never knew anyone rich before. But I slowly realizing that it was infecting my way to connect to the children, and I myself had to reevaluate and understand that these were just assumptions. I am glad to say I was able to correct my way. Why is there dichotomy, where some students achieve and some students do not? This is a hard question that no educator wants to omit. But when you look at the statistics, it shows that there's something going on in our system. There's something that I like to call cookie cutting teaching. Teach everyone the same way, ignoring the fact that there's differences in the classroom. Never really looking at individual needs and focusing on one goal, such as passing a high-stake exam, for example. In a classroom, everyone has a story. We as educators, only get snips of these stories, and we have to be able to put it together. The need for equity. Discrimination can be very damaging to a child's soul. They can become unmotivated because they feel the feeling of being inadequate. This was shown in the brown eye, blue eye experiment. Jane Elliott's lesson around discrimination made strong case why equity is a necessity in a classroom. In the video, you can see the children starting to feel bad about themselves and become violent even. How would I teach this in my classroom? I am more aware of differences between equality and equity now. In my classroom, I would want all my students to have a fair chance in education. I would also want my students to know the difference between fairness and equality. I would give extra help when needed, extended activities even if they go over scheduled time, and make sure that my room has as many multicultural items for my children to explore. These are my references.